Welcome, Guardians, to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Sean is back. You have been out for a while.
I know. I've been on the road. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you back. Fran is here.
Hey, Guardians.
And we have a special guest, TeaWrex, the floating disembodied body, right here behind us. It is great to have you on the show. We're very happy you were able to join us today.
It's great to be here, man.
It's great to have you. On today's show, we will be discussing exotics, the new exotic, including Trespasser. We're going to be talking about some of the legs that have been dropping for Guardians in the real world.
With this patch. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the patch. But first, let's talk about the exotics. So people are getting higher than 335 boots.
Yeah, so real quick, if you've been living under a rock,
Yeah.
the pre-Rise of Iron patch is now live for Destiny. It went live yesterday at during server
Morning,
maintenance.
yep.
10 a.m. to 4 or 6 p.m., somewhere around there. It was a 12 gigabyte update.
Big update.
Yeah, and basically, just like in House of Wolves and stuff, this was all stuff that is pre-implemented before Rise of Iron. So there's potentially roaming NPCs and new weapons out there,
Yeah.
more all of the data that we're going to be
Less
getting.
marks dropped from your daily. That's
The
one
big
thing I knew
changes
right
are really
away.
now live in the sandbox. But one of the big things you were explaining is people are getting higher than 335 light level.
Boots so far, or legs.
Yep.
And
Someone's got a helmet from what I saw too.
Yeah, I heard
really?
that.
Interesting.
That was
Interesting.
only one picture.
Was it
so
a
I don't
new
know if
helmet?
that's verified or not?
was it a new helmet?
It was Obsidian Mind.
Okay.
Wow, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I mean, TeaWrex, since we have you, what are sort of the, small handful of the big things you've noticed that have changed, if you had to sum it up?
The biggest thing for me and Twitter, and this is what I was talking about on Twitter earlier. They took away your weekly Iron Banner bounties if you had them.
Yeah.
That was a big
no.
deal.
Well, especially some people had them where they were leveled up, so they
Yeah.
took away marks basically.
Yeah.
No, I was that person. I had
Yeah.
225 legendary marks ready to go. And, on one hand, I understand if they're going to get rid of them. My frustration was they didn't say anything about it,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
effectively just lost the ability to use 225 marks.
Yeah, and you use those slots so that you could have put other stuff there potentially. Yeah.
So it's less like, okay, if they were like, hey, we're going to be deleting these bounties so they physically don't exist in the game so you can't have them anymore. So in preparation, if you want to use those marks on planetary materials or on, rolling for gear or whatever, just go ahead and do it.
Yep.
That would have been nice to know, so that way I didn't just have, 3 slots per character
They're just
sitting
gone.
with nothing
Yep.
for the past, I guess, close to a month. Probably not a month. I don't know when the last Iron Banner was, but,
Yeah.
That'd have been nice. So there's that. Currently, there's supposed to be the new implementation of the public event system.
That's
where you're going to get
really
5
exciting.
motes,
Yeah.
15 materials, 15 marks,
Yeah.
some rep, glimmer, all that kind of stuff once a day. And that's currently not working yet, and they already know about that. But that will be functional on September 20th when Rise of Iron launches.
I don't really understand why they took away the daily marks that you got. Maybe it's because they added these other avenues. Like your first public event gives you 15, which is a lot, but now you only get 6 for your daily, which is a little strange. Did they outline that?
I didn't know about the fact that you were getting less on your daily.
Oh, you
I
know
still
what?
did 15.
That is incorrect. I was playing on somebody else's account, and they needed
They have
6
max
more to
marks,
get to
so
the
you only got
cap.
6?
Oh, okay.
No, I am totally wrong on that. I apologize.
I'm not gonna say anything, but man,
Yeah.
I didn't.
No,
you
I'm
should.
very glad you
Definitely
said
should.
something. Very glad you said something. I was incorrect. Let's talk about whose account I was playing on, actually. I got to give a big shout out to the Frozen 2006, who is definitely ready for Rise of Iron now that he has his 200 marks. He let me try out the Trespasser, which is a
Exotic
new
sidearm.
exotic sidearm, and it is sick.
Yeah.
I really, really like it.
So all I know is that there is an exotic sidearm called the Trespasser. What makes this special?
It is basically RoboCop's gun in
It's-
multiplayer. Here's some of the perks. So after first reload, you get an extended concentrated burst for your first round. So it's instead of pop, 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 3-round bursts, which is how it normally fires, you get
Right. But that's its base
Yeah.
function, right? It's actually a pulse sidearm, isn't it?
basically, that's how it feels. And
But
even
then
originally, it's really good. And after you get your first kill, you get an enhanced motion tracker. I don't like enhanced motion tracker that much, but it definitely helps if you're looking for a specific area.
This is
a
where the
guardian
radar
is.
gets, instead of it gets like double the amount of quadrants,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's got to be really useful because I think the radar in Destiny is terrible.
Yeah, I didn't like the update with the ticks on it. Did that make
They
it through?
changed that. They changed that.
That's
I
not
think.
in the final.
I don't know.
Okay, I hope not.
Real
Yeah.
quick, you guys don't have this issue where like
It wasn't at the last event that they had.
Oh, really?
though.
Good.
Yeah.
when your radar gets a ping and it's in the distance, right? It's on the edge of the radar, but then when it's in the middle range, it's like the whole quadrant's lit up.
Yeah.
That could be anywhere from 5 feet
Yeah.
in front of you to like 50 feet in
Yeah.
front of
Yeah.
you. Like I hate that, right?
Yeah.
That's so.
I don't think they've improved that part of it.
No,
right?
but at least
just
if it's
sort
a
of-
little bit more detailed, at least you have the direction, right?
Yeah, now you
Like-
know direction. Distance is obviously still pretty broad.
Well, enhanced motion tracker's been around for a while,
Yeah.
but this gun is awesome. It's a really good burst fire weapon. It can go toe to toe, mid range, long range. No, obviously, it's not meant to do that.
I saw some range in some videos though that I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, they were like really getting people from pretty far with a sidearm.
Did they use the reload perk?
No, it was just sort of straight up. So, I mean, again, this was like a pretty quick video, but it looked like it had a pretty good range stat.
Interesting.
Even if it doesn't show up.
We're gonna put a video on IGN of me trying to use it. Everybody knows I'm not great at PvP, but even I was doing
Yeah,
okay.
can we talk about that?
Even doing okay.
How does the like what as far as the design of the weapon, does it look cool?
It
Well, wait,
looks
can
like
I-
RoboCop's gun.
Can I ask
Really?
T-Rex, do
Yeah.
you have it yet?
Oh, I don't. I wish I did. It
You
does
need
have
both.
ornaments on it though.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
pretty great as well.
The ornaments are
So wait,
slick.
there are ornaments out in the wild now?
You can preview them. You can't.
You can
get them.
preview them, yeah, which I think is a
Wow.
great feature because
That's
I didn't
awesome.
know if we were gonna like have the ornaments implemented, but be unable to see what they are until you acquired them.
Yeah.
So I was really happy to see I could like go look at my Telesto and then they'd be
Wow.
like, oh, now it's purple, or now it's this like shimmering blue, or my favorite, which is probably the invective one, where it looks like it came out of a volcano and it's great.
Yeah.
That's
Do we have
awesome.
Time to talk about ornaments?
Yeah,
Destin,
go
you
ahead.
think? Well, can I? So I still don't understand how it works. Like, are there like 60 ornaments that are going to live across everything, or does each weapon have a set of ornaments? Is that what you're saying? Does anyone know?
If an item has ornaments, it has a maximum currently of 2.
Oh, so weapons come with their own ornaments, though, right? Meaning, like, not every weapon has the same ability to be.
Yes, correct. So,
Ornamentized.
like, for example, if you have a Fabian strategy, it's not going to be able to have ornaments on it. Which, or if you have, what's that
Why
face?
is
What's
Destin
that face,
Nothing.
Destin?
Why is Destin laughing at me?
That's what we know right now.
That's what we
We'll
know right
find
now.
out more at lunch.
Oh yeah, so Destin.
Well, I'm saying
on-
currently that's
Yeah.
that's what we know.
Yeah.
That's
That's a little bit of
face,
a-
I guess.
That's
just
a little bit of a
alright.
hint, Destin.
No.
Destin
I
is-
literally can't say anything.
Destin
And
is
I'm just finding it
under
funny
embargo.
that I can't elaborate.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
Nobody appreciates it. Destin, is under embargo, right? Till review or something.
Monday, you're going to see some coverage for Rise of Iron hit IGN. Very excited to share that with you guys.
Just do
yeah.
1 blink for yes, 2 for no. You're not saying anything.
He's not blinking. Crap. He blinked.
Oh my
What
God!
did you say it was? I
It's
don't
the
know.
whole internet thing where they read into every
No,
motion.
yeah, I know.
Move your left hand if
We,
you.
unfortunately, we do have to take this stuff very seriously. So now I'm just nervous.
Oh no!
Glad it's not a
yeah.
live show though.
Everyone likes working and having and doing their dream job.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one liked to lose it because they couldn't be freaking patient.
I'll be
Very
very
true.
quiet for some stuff, but
Yeah.
all I can say is I'm really excited to share our coverage with you
Awesome.
early next week.
But I'm, everyone knows there's, the ongoing joke. You may not know T-Rex. I have my tower casual, so for
Oh my God.
pre-taking King, I always like to load into the tower and put on like the Born Spark for Warlock and just wear like the simple, layback.
Fashion
kinda,
is the true
yeah.
end game of Destiny. It's
It
it's
is.
the truth, man.
So ornaments, I'm super excited for. So that's why I asked.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I can even show you really quickly just
Oh, yeah.
what this one looks
Yeah,
like.
you got a
So
fancy
this
setup.
that's the Iconoclast, but the
Oh,
one
yeah,
I was
can you
talking about,
show?
Storm's Reproach. Look at that!
Whoa, that's cool.
That
That's
looks
cool.
really
Great
good.
that
yeah, if you can
looks.
see, you're listening on the podcast. What happened is on Invective, he put on what was this one called?
This is Storm's Reproach.
Storm's Reproach is an ornament that gives it like this cracked magma.
Yeah, it looks like
barrel.
it's like yeah.
The lava's actually flowing
Really
through the
cool.
cracks. I like
This is
that
awesome.
a lot.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
very
this is
cool.
awesome. Like exotics already have a cool look to them, but now
here's
the fact that
Telesto.
they have these
Ooh,
really
oh my God.
it's like a shimmering icy Telesto.
The whole gun is covered in blue, and it's
Dude.
shimmering blue.
I'm so excited for ornaments.
Yeah, this is going to be really cool. Like, this is a good way just for you to see, because most people want to collect exotics, right?
Truth.
Gold Truth.
Oh my
hype.
gosh, that looks really
Dude,
crazy.
T-Rex, you're amazing.
I
This is so
still
cool that
don't
you
have a
this piped
truth. Isn't that crazy?
I just know how to use Skype well.
in. I know, sharing your other screen that's piping through. Wait,
I
so
know,
can
it's
you
great.
look at
And
any
now,
gun?
And now you just have me. Wait,
Yeah.
what, am I doing something?
Let's do one more.
Yeah, do
One
one
more?
more.
All
Because
right.
now I'm
Okay.
addicted to seeing
Yeah.
these, and I'm sure on stream
More.
it's pretty
We
cool.
can do. Ooh, we'll do Hawkmoon.
I was about
Oh,
to say,
yes,
I
yes.
would love to see Hawkmoon. So does this only work then for 280 and up? Right? It's not going to obviously work.
It does
for-
not work for you.
Oh, so that one's like a blood splatter or a rust or
Carrion,
something.
yep.
Yeah, that one looks
Carrion.
great.
Do they have stories
We have
attached?
Moonglow.
And then this is the one that I will have exclusively, the gold one.
Are there little story quotes attached to these?
They're not. I was really hoping there was going to be, but there's not.
Really?
Adorn
Even
your
when you go
weapons.
in?
You
Adorn
had
your
it, you
weapons
went
with
on.
elaborate new blah blah blah.
It's got nothing. It's got.
Thought they'd
standard
each
stuff.
have like a little quote on them.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Well, this will give fan lore something to do.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's a Grimoire card.
Yeah, I'm sure that it will.
Go to
be.
Bungie.net.
So maybe we should finish off Trespasser. So Destin, your current
yeah.
rating, having used it for how long would you say? Like 30 minutes? Or,
30 minutes.
What's your current like? Do you feel like you're gonna use it 1 out of 10?
I feel like it's going to be a major player in PvP.
In PvP?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I think when people get really good with it, you're saying people are basically sniping with it like a high level player.
Not that far, but it was like mid-range hand cannon distance. I mean,
Here's what people are going to do. They're going to dump that first round and just wait, pop that reload, and then go in and nuke people. I think it's going to be very, very usable for PvP.
yeah, I think so. I actually think it's going to be really useful for PvP.
Useful would be a better
Because
word.
it seems really powerful, and being in a group of enemies and constantly reloading and just,
Yeah.
tearing through people. I'm excited.
It's Robocop's gun.
I just want to
T-Rex,
make that sound.
T-Rex, what's your take?
So from what I was seeing, I think it does 37 to the head with
Mm-hmm.
a single bullet from the burst. That means 2 burst kills. And I don't know. I never saw how much damage a super burst does. But is the reload perk the one when you reload, you have pinpoint accuracy? Is that how it works?
No, so you reload and you get that big stream of bullets, like an
A
extended
longer
stream.
burst.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was only after kills. Is that after reloads?
After
Reload,
kills,
yeah.
you get enhanced motion tracker.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
sorry.
didn't think there was
I don't
increased
have one,
accuracy.
so Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it can definitely. What I would like to see is that maybe it contend with the last word a little bit too. So that way, close range, if you're in that pocket between shotguns and primary range, where the last word just kind of dominates everything.
Yeah.
That if you swap to that sidearm, you can blow them away. That'd be really interesting to see.
With the reload, I think it could go toe to toe with last word, but still, every time I encountered a last word, I got torn apart. So,
Gotcha.
but also,
But you
my
suck.
skill level is not like where Sean's is or some like 1900 ELO people.
Last word is beastly, although I have not played it in the updates.
Yeah, Sean
Anyway,
hasn't seen it yet either.
I haven't played it at all
So
yet.
this, as far as we know, is the only new exotic that is dropped. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
They have showed on the Instagram today. I don't know if they put it on Twitter, but they
Really?
showed the Kostov. So yeah, did you catch
Kalashnikov.
it? Was
Oh
it?
yeah,
'Cause-
this
Well,
has
we saw
the,
that in Game
the ornaments
Informer.
and the Coast
Eh.
too.
yeah, but they showed it
One's
off
just
with the
like
ornamentation.
sleek black.
Oh, interesting.
I'll pull it up for us.
That's
so we
cool.
have
If
it,
you
but-
see the multi-tools ornaments, one of it looks like it reminds me of like a gun, a Splinter Cell, which is always really interesting.
That's really cool. Like
Has
a
like the,
special
like
ops.
the black and the green of like Sam Fisher.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cool, man.
I like that they're not afraid to pull from like RoboCop and just like movie culture and stuff like that for their ornaments, for their weapon designs. It's really, really fun.
Yep.
The real question is, when do we get a Judge Dredd hand cannon?
Oh, that would be fun.
Yo, that
I
would
am
be
the law.
awesome.
The gun could be called I Am the Law.
I know, literally.
No,
Yeah.
just the law.
Has
Or
explosive
the
rounds.
law.
The law.
Oh, wow. That would be really good.
Yeah, Kvostov. Sorry,
I call it Klosh stuff.
it's definitely not that.
Can you read?
It's Kvostov. Anyway, yeah, they just kind of showed off this Bureau of Aeronautics. It's like a rusty orange.
Can you hold up the phone for the viewers?
Nah, I don't think that they're going to be able to see that. But maybe T-Rex can pull it up later. But anyway, they just showed the ornamentation. That was all. But
That's cool.
Pretty excited for that. What I like about what's happening right now is pre-update, able to build some hype. People seem to be really hyped, by the way, over the 338 or 339 drops. Just to finish that thought, I'm like, I mean, that's great and all, but like you're gonna get that immediately when you play
Yeah,
any port.
literally as soon as the patch drops.
So I wouldn't grind out to get a bunch of boots that are
Yeah.
339
No,
or a
no.
helmet. I mean, it's nice, but you're gonna get probably rare drops
I was-
immediately that are that.
I was gonna say, as soon as just like talking about the hype and how hyped people are for this, yesterday when we installed the patch just here at the office, me and Brian, like when
Yeah.
we booted up Destiny, we saw the new title screen. We were all like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's the shield!"
New music.
Yeah,
And the
when you
music.
get to the title screen, you listen to the new music, which sounds like very Halo-y in a good way. Like the
Yeah.
Halo score is so good.
It's very
The
much
new
a
music.
Yeah, a lot of horns and strings, a cinematic, very cinematic.
Yeah, very
approach to this
big,
one.
very cinematic feeling. Like we literally just sat there and listened to it on loop until it gets to it eventually starts playing Reef music
Yeah.
at some point. But like that new score sounds really great. It takes so little to hype me up at this point. Like I was literally getting shivers down my spine just listening to the title screen music.
Yeah, we put a video up of it on, if you want to find it on Fireteam Chat on YouTube, check it out over there. But we have a video up of it if you want to listen to it and don't have it installed yet at home.
How do you like the music, Sam?
Oh, it's great. The beginning, it has that same, Bungie slow draw of going all the way and climaxing towards the end of the song. So I'm very excited to do all the story missions with no, my own personal music playing. It's all going to be in-game sound. Because I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I'm playing Destiny for my 3,000th hour, sometimes I don't want to hear the pew-pews and the music. Sometimes I listen to my own stuff. But every single time there's new stuff and new sounds, I will always prioritize that for a solid month.
I have here, hold on. Gonna play a little?
You can also watch this on the YouTube channel.
Wait, just listen, everybody. It's pretty cool. So what I like,
It's good.
What I like about this is, Taking It was cool because it was so ominous and it was dissonant. Which actually, I will say, after a while, you're like, oh my god, it's so dark every time I log in.
Yeah.
This is a very epic feel, and it's actually
hopeful.
It's heroic epic, and I think I'm excited to log into that sound definitely more than Taken King. Not that there was anything wrong with it, but to log into a screen that is this epic. I know it's just a title screen, but we hear it every day. It sounds great. So we've heard nothing but good things from the score. That was one of what DJ's favorite things about the game that he pointed out during our interview at Gamescom, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I'm stoked.
Guys, we're all really excited, but there
We
is...
talked about the menu and the show's over.
Yeah, we definitely need to move on to talk about all of the changes that hit the other day. And we're going to focus on two weapons specifically, sniper rifles and at least one of the shotguns. So, Fran, do you want to give us an overview, or would you like to do a TeaWrex?
Yeah, if you know it, TeaWrex, feel free to give an overview. Otherwise, I have the patch notes pulled up that I can read it word for word.
No, sure. I have it pretty well memorized after talking so much yesterday about it. So sniper rifles, the high mid-range impact snipers, which is your longbow, your LDR, and your 1,000-yard stare.
No.
All three of those, they now have a 7% or 6.95% reduction to their total damage.
What does that mean?
They can no longer reliably kill Guardians in their super if the Guardian has an armor bonus with their super. Not like Golden Gun, more like Hammer Titan.
Okay. But what about res? Can you still res snipe with it?
Yeah, you should be able to for the most part because it's still, you're doing way more damage than 7% would have a difference. They would specifically mention that if it wasn't. The one exclusion from that change though was the no land. That was, I think, unchanged by the damage change. They also reduced the
Fran really cares about no
aim
land.
assist on the LDR and the longbow to bring it in with 1,000 yards. That way, that's part of the reason why everyone was grinding for it, was because it was, for a lot of people, a superior version of the LDR. Sorry, of the 1,000 yard.
What was
So
the
now
perk people
those
liked
are all
about?
kind of normalizing the same, and now all you have as a changing is, maybe a stat or two, but they're relatively the same. A big change across all snipers, though, not just that impact tier,
the flinch.
is going to be flinch. So you went from having default 30 to 50% on first bullet, and then you have a 100% flinch after a certain number of bullets.
Yeah.
While you're still scoped in.
That's going to change the game for multiplayer. Like if I'm pegging somebody with my Mida, they shouldn't be able to snipe me basically.
And I actually think that's great because there's been too many times that I catch someone aiming down sights but I catch them and I start shooting them and they still get the shot off.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, that's not fair. You got caught.
Yeah.
And you should, So I think hopefully it's not too much. But then again, if you're getting shot and you're aiming down a sniper, it should be pretty rough.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, do you feel the same?
If I remember right, in Reach or in other Halo games, did you de-scope when you were shot at?
You still do, but it's not flinch.
Yeah, but you snap
Well,
out
I know,
of the scope.
but that's the point, though, is you it's not flinch, but you get knocked out of your sights.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen much,
so
which is why the frustration of I was shooting you. How the heck did you get that shot off on me?
I'm a little bit of two minds on this. I do think that I still think that if you're a good enough sniper, you should be able to hit someone after they've caught you. And if you're good enough and you can time that your flinch so that your crosshair lands right back up on their head as you're pulling back, you should land that shot. Sure. But at the same time, like, it seems like it's going to be, now if you're caught, you're dead type thing.
What I hope that this
I don't know
does,
that. You're far away.
I
Run.
100% agree with you, is I hope that this increases the skill cap between the skill cap and gap between like top tier snipers and people who are like, I'm a sniper enthusiast.
So that's me.
You know, someone who hasn't had all
Yeah.
the skill, but they still love sniping. So that way, the one guy who you know is like the serious threat, even when you're gunning him down, he's like, no, I can compensate for this. That's what I hope happens, because I agree. It's really unfair if, to a point, you were a really fantastic sniper and now you can't seem to, after that first shot, you can't reacquire your target as often.
I feel like this is going
we'll
to
see where it lands.
I feel like this is going to improve my scout game, which makes me very happy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I say all of this without having any experience trying this change yet, so I don't know exactly how far in which direction it actually goes. And truthfully, I'm not that great of a sniper. I would say I'm competent, but like when I'm playing trials, I definitely let my teammates snipe first because they're better than me at it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, like I've said it before on the show, I like balance towards higher skill cap. So I think that if you're the type of player who can reliably land that second shot, even if you're being hit, then that shouldn't be taken away from you. Although I do think that maybe the gap was probably a little too high earlier on, where like you could still land after being hit 3-4 times with.
But see, I personally don't think this was about the second shot so much as like the first shot. Like,
where
your head explodes.
For me, in trials, I play a ton of it too many times. Someone challenges me down sights like auto rifles, hand cannons, and they'll win. Not always, but depends on the weapon they're using, which sniper. But I think it needed to be addressed. But you're right. What if it now is affecting the second shot? So I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot that needs to be hit.
Yeah.
Let's hope they hit it.
Yeah. Well, they
I
probably
hope
did
they hit
extensive
eventually,
testing.
because like the one thing I don't really understand is the damage change. Because I feel like if you kill
Agreed.
a Blade Dancer in their super, it feels real good when you get that headshot on them.
Agreed.
I just go for body shots. I just 2-3 body
Well,
shots.
so that was what they
I have a
addressed in
question
the.
for you,
Well,
then.
that's what they
Do you
addressed in the
think body
change was they
shots are
said.
overpowered then?
They said that in the patch notes though this was in part compensation for those specific weapons to still 2-tap body shot people. They wanted to kind of lower the ability to do that with this damage change.
What was
And
TeaWrex saying?
Yeah, what were you saying, TeaWrex?
The thing is, no. The thing is, this does not change all snipers. It only changes those high impact snipers. If they're already doing like 120 in the body, they're still going to be able to double body you, or it's like 167 or something like that. Every sniper, for the most part, I still believe can double body you outside the super. Like that's the one thing I dislike is people who. It's not even people. It's just I dislike the play style of body shots, swap the primary, body shot again, you're dead. Because for people like Blade Dancer with quick draw, they do that with last word, done. You have zero chance pretty much.
Well, if you're popping,
so I really hope they kind of balance precision gameplay a little better in the future. I don't think I know a best solution, but I feel like changing the damage for. I wish they would have made it only on body shot damage, but precision damage remained the same. I guess that's what I would have preferred.
If you're popping your Blade Dancer, though, at a range where I can snipe you and last word to you, I feel like you popped it too far away. Like that's something where
I'm just saying they do body shot primary
Invis
because it does
Blade
such
Dancer's a
high
big thing
impact
these
to your
days.
body that you can still just get one shot.
Okay.
The other thing is the other reason I'm not so on board with the damage nerf to those particular class of snipers is because it seems to push people back towards shotguns a little bit, which I don't know.
That's a good transition, actually.
I don't like more shotguns. I don't like more shotguns in PvP.
Well, they definitely changed Universal Remote. TeaWrex, how did they change it?
They basically changed it by. Well, I personally haven't used it yet, so I don't know if they neutered it or not. But the exotic perk, which is when you aim down sights, you have an extended range and shot. They nerfed that by 75%. That bonus is 75% less.
For
now.
Universal?
The overall range is not 75% rest of like the base stat on the gun, but specifically the perk, the Universal Remote perk now does that. But
is that only on Universal Remote or all rangefinders?
No, I mean rangefinder's not in the game anymore. That's more or less the only gun that has. That's the only gun that has like shot package, which is how that basically worked. Now I feel like they brought it in line with rangefinder. Maybe maybe.
Yeah, I mean it's been brought down by 75%. So
Yeah.
that doesn't tell you it was way too powerful. And I'm sure if you played PvP at all recently, you knew it was. I mean it was insane how many people were just wrecking with it.
So does that affect my conspiracy theory?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah. Right now, it's only the exotic
Universal
perk has
Remote
been
does
touched.
not have rangefinder. It's a specific exotic perk, I think,
Got
called
it.
the Universal Remote.
Got it.
That allows you, when you're aiming down sights, to have a longer range, and I believe it acted very similarly to the way Shot Package did. But
Got
Shot
it.
Package was removed from the game
Yeah.
for a very specific reason.
It was too
now
good.
I hope that the remote isn't broken, but I definitely hope it's more in line with, like, Party Crasher and stuff
Yeah.
I
like
kind
that.
of hope it's broken. It gives my class a bad name. Too many Titan defenders running around with that.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was all that they touched with shotguns so far. They said the following changes are meant to sweeten the value proposition, starting with everyone's favorite Titan class weapon.
Yep.
And then they say Amobius, decreased spread on Titan class shotgun in aim down sights, increased base stability by 60%. That's just for Amobius. But then outside of that, they just said reduced spread angle penalty on shotguns that have the full auto perk. Invective was not affected, which bothers me. I think Invective's still a little too powerful. And then they increased high rate of fire and middle to low rate of fire shotgun damages just by 2%. So shotguns have not been messed with a ton, right? I mean,
Yeah.
doesn't sound
No,
like
but
it.
this, in conjunction with the sniper nerf, kind of pushes them a little bit back
the meta
towards
will
snipers.
change.
Yeah,
Well,
that's all.
And I don't know. Yeah, I don't want more shotguns, but
Well, the thing is, so in sixes, I think that shotguns are way more prevalent. But in regards to, like, Trials of Osiris, if you've played a lot of Trials, snipers are the go-to.
Yep.
Right, and right
Yeah.
now, uni sniper is a big thing. So I'm hoping now it's like sniper with like a last word or an actual, quote unquote, actual primary. But in regards to the past, I think I saw a chart about this. Might have been the past 20 weeks. But sniper to shotgun ratio in the special slot is about 2-to-1 almost every single week, if
Wow.
not more than that.
So
Yeah,
more,
I
Snipers
believe
are
that.
still the
More
preferred
snipers, right?
special weapon.
yeah.
no.
There's not a lot, but in sixes, I understand there is a lot of shotguns in sixes.
Yeah, yeah. So it will be very interesting to see. But I like that at least they threw in, Trespasser here, which might be very good defense against
Yeah.
someone coming at you that quickly, but remains to be seen.
One question: Did any of your int dis builds get affected?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. What happened with that? Did they comment on it yet?
No.
Did you have like a tier
If you
12?
want an example of why I'm really sad, so I had a perfect, I can't even show the picture, but I had a perfect build on my Stormcaller with Impossible Machines and my exotic Bond from Dead Orbit, where I had 240 Strength, 240 Discipline, and 240 Intellect. It felt real nice. Like my OCD was just like, this is good.
Perfect.
I lost 9 stats in the change. I don't know why. But
9?
now I can't do my tier 12 builds anymore for int, dis, and strength. None of them work.
Can you still do tier 11 at least?
Oh yeah, I get tier 11 on everything, anything I want, but like I don't have that satisfying perfect build.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I do have OCD, and that felt real good to look at.
I hope
it felt real good to look at.
I hope they address that because that was
I hope so too.
That's something I was gonna
tweeted
start
yesterday
chasing.
that he's working with the Bungie support or Bungie help people. I forget. I have to find that tweet, or you people, if you're watching, you can go look at it.
Yeah.
But he talked about, he's like, this morning, he's like, I'm not going to do the pleasantries. I have a lot of work to do working with these people. And last night he talked about ghost bullets too. So
Yeah.
hopefully we're going to hear about the stat changes that they didn't talk about. Hopefully they're going to maybe tell us about hand cannons a little bit more. Which, by the way, speaking of hand cannons, they in the notes they didn't change anything really except for the Thorn, which got a 25% range reduction. If you guys don't know, but they said that there is going to be some newly minted low rate of fire hand cannons coming out with a very long range. So maybe the reason
Interesting.
they haven't touched hand cannons is because they want to see how those perform out in the fields before they do another sandbox change. So
I want
maybe
my, like-
hand cannons can come
I want
back
my,
and
like,
I can
dirty,
use my favorite guns
hairy-
again.
I want my dirty, hairy, long pistol. It takes 1 minute to shoot, but it one-shots you at range. Like, that's what I want.
Oh my God.
I want the golden gun in Destiny is what I want.
Yeah.
as your primary,
Yeah,
as
like
a Titan.
from Goldeneye, not Golden Gun, the Hunter Super I'm talking
Got it.
about.
Yeah, it's
from
really
Goldeneye.
interesting in the stats updates to the weapons. They talked a lot about a couple of the profiles that in Rise of Iron they are introducing these new weapons that will be seemingly pretty cool, because they said that about sidearms, that they're introducing some new. I can read what that was, but also that's what you're referencing, right? They say, as a preview of Rise of Iron, newly minted low rate of fire hand cannons have a higher maximum possible range stat. But that was just a hint of some new stuff to come. But other than that, they didn't touch anything about the damage or anything that hand cannons do. They just fixed, like, there was a lot of weapons that weren't showing stats and readouts right.
They did a lot of UI
stuff,
for stats, which is exactly what they did with, which is why, and speaking of sidearms, because they talked about new sidearms coming out with a higher rate of fire stat than what's currently possible.
Yes.
So they said, hey, if you have a max rate of fire sidearm and you see the stat go down, you are still able to fire the same amount. They just raised the cap, and they changed the UI to show that now rate of fire can go higher than what it currently is.
Yeah.
Fran, ghost bolts were mentioned earlier. Why don't you tell people what that is to give them context?
Yeah, and TeaWrex, you should add to this, but it's been a big topic over the last, month or so, beyond really, but people using hand cannons, especially Hawkmoon, IS Luna, like, they totally know that they aimed at somebody's face or body, and nothing happened. And people were referring to them as ghost bullets. TeaWrex was one of the folks that really dove in, and he just put a video up that was like, he was easily within range. And so the way he's explaining what's happening is it was hitting the wall, actually. But he was clearly standing still. He had a friend in Rumble just sit there, and bullets would just completely miss down the sight randomly. So it was totally an RNG. And the best way I could describe it is, he thought it was based off the range you're at, that there's this randomness to the effectiveness of your aim. To me, that's anti-aim assist. So, like, I'm thinking that they did something that is like, okay, aim assist can be pretty powerful, so let's put in this other thing that, well, sometimes you actually don't hit your shots to off-balance that. But, like,
and the
that's
math
crazy.
got screwed up.
When you are aimed at someone in a stable environment, and there's a reason that people are saying it's a ghost because they can't explain it intuitively, it doesn't make sense, right? And like, it shouldn't randomly hit the wall just because.
It
Is
feels
that a good way to put
frustrating. It's anti-fun as well as anti-aim.
It's anti-fun, especially for people who are very good with it. I mean, is that the way you would put it, TeaWrex?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. To a point. So, hand cannons in year one, everyone remembers Last Word and Thorn being incredibly dominant, with Last Word being able to kill you in 11 frames, and then Thorn being able to shoot you twice in the head and walk away. Like, that was a huge problem. So I think that they really took a really hard hammer to hand cannons in general, and have just been kind of systematically breaking them down to work in a very specific range that doesn't make a lot of sense with everything else in the game. So for one, I agree. So I think the way the range stat works, and I think Triple talked about this as well in his video, is that imagine out of the barrel of your gun, you have a cone. And the better your range stat is, the tighter the cone is, the farther away it is. So imagine a dartboard. The dartboard is either smaller or bigger, and it's easier to hit your target, but when it's smaller for this instance, because it's pinpoint precision.
Right.
So if you shoot a target and then you miss, that's like fundamentally so anti-Destiny, because that's Destiny's biggest strength. It is the most fun I've had in a video game, running and jumping and shooting.
Yeah.
And if you're taking away the shooting part where I don't hit my things, I get frustrated.
Yeah.
So I hope they have an answer for it, because I don't want the game to be broken. I want it to be as balanced as it can, but I also want it to be fun.
Yeah. I think
there is a balance to be struck between fair and balanced, competitive gameplay, and having fun and knowing that when you're shooting something, it's hitting its target.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, did you say that they actually officially said they were going to talk about it, Destin, or no?
Dietz said he's going to talk to the team about ghost bullets.
Okay, so we don't know if they're going to leave it.
He tweeted that last night, I believe.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to
to
discuss it. Like, it's a problem, and they'll
It is.
look
At least
at it.
explain it. Like,
Yeah.
give us either the reasons behind it, or give us maybe the reason why it's hard to fix. Just because, like with heavy ammo bricks, they were so silent until eventually they were like, all right, this is why heavy ammo was so complicated to fix and why it took months.
Yeah, I'm always, as a community member, I'm always like that. I'm always just like, if you explain the why, usually I'm less angry.
Yeah, and that's the
Why'd you
right.
take away my Iron Banner bounties and not tell me, Deej?
Yeah, that's one you got them on. As always, they need to tell people ahead of time with something that penalizing. But going back to the ghost bullets, like, look, yeah, that's what we don't know is that if they fix it, that aim assist might be out of control.
Yeah.
And so who knows? That's where the coding and doing the stuff, it takes some time. But if they comment on it, hopefully as soon as next week or sooner, I think people will be very happy. Or even DJ did the right thing and said, you know what, we're going to talk about this. That's already, he knows, obviously, that's the right thing to do is not ignore something that's that big. Just to finish that topic off, there's also bloom on hand cannons, which is a discussion, right, where your reticle, as you fire, it spreads. But people were saying, well, they need to fix that too. I think that's some topic, but the way I would put that is at least bloom is consistent for everybody. It's not random. Ghost bullets are random and unpredictable, and that's what pisses you off.
But
and you have no way of knowing what you like. You're being. It's like Star Trek. I think it's when Data's talking to Picard, right? And he's like, it's possible to do everything right and still lose. Like it's that situation where you are consistent with, like, let's say a pulse and a scout, and you adapt that behavior to a hand cannon, you're not going to receive the same performance. Yeah, which is like frustrating.
Very much. Yeah, I mean you lose shootouts because of the dice. That's not right. That's not right.
That is what we call RNG, and we don't like it.
I gamble at 0, okay? I don't gamble in Crucible.
Yeah.
Right? Difference.
My question really quick is, this is limited only to hand cannons, right?
For now.
Are there any other weapon types that have a blooming effect? They don't, right? There's no, like, pulses, scouts, none of them.
Bloom exists on auto rifles.
Yes,
and,
that's right.
Basically, if it's like a full... The faster the rate of fire, the more the bloom is. That's just kind of how it's always been.
But TeaWrex, didn't Triples test Scout as well and thought that looked like it also had this ghost bullet issue? I think he did.
Honestly, I mean, I haven't seen the video.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah. So he
because I was streaming all day yesterday, and then he put it out while I was streaming, and I went to bed, and I woke up and I didn't.
Yeah.
So
well, I had the same.
Watch it.
It was pretty easy to understand.
Everyone told me what it was about, so I'm going to go ahead and take Triples done the good science. I can trust him.
Yeah, it's funny. He provides raw clips. You know, he wants to make sure people don't think he edited them, which is silly, like as if he's going to do that. But no, he brought out a scout too, and same thing, like pinpoint, nobody's moving, and the bullets would miss sometimes. I don't know if that's the same problem with the range stat, but it seems like it is. So it's not limited to hand cannons. It seems like it's something, stuff primaries with high range could be a problem in there.
We really need to wrap.
Yeah.
Soon. What was your last thought there, TeaWrex?
I was just saying, I wonder if that's with legendaries, because the multi-tool, I've never had a problem with pinpoint precision. Like, at a certain range where I'm like, now it's like, I need like max range stat, like from like sniper range, it's sometimes inconsistent, but for the most part, I haven't had a problem with multi-tool.
Yeah, I bet you multi-tool.
If it's an exception to the rule, that doesn't mean there's a problem.
Yep.
Obviously.
Needs investigation.
Yeah. We have come to the end of the show. Fran, any final thoughts? You look like you want to say something.
Not really. I felt like we talked about PvP the whole time. I mean, was there nothing in the PvE world?
We mentioned that public events are getting new drops and stuff like that. Not yet. I was wrong about the marks thing. I'm sorry. I was playing on a different account, and I was like, where are my 15 marks?
I have something, if you want to. So, for some reason, a whole bunch of green engrams are dropping now. Green gear.
Yeah.
Like, when I was doing patrols in the Conservatory, when I was getting green gear like candy, just all of a sudden out of nowhere. I don't really know why that's happening.
But it's still dropping at a low level, right?
Yeah, like it's dropping, like it's a green. It's like, it has like, like the really simple textures and designs on it.
190.
And I just, I mean, it's nice because I get glimmer and I get weapon or armor parts, so it's fine. There's that. Oh, and so with the sniper change, it doesn't. So this is a PvE thing because the sniper change affecting PvE. A lot of folks use either. For a while before, because I always like to having exotics elsewhere, I didn't always use the spindle in the raid, which is, so Zen Meteor and the Black Spindle are not affected by the damage change because they are the high impact snipers, the highest you can physically get in the game right now. So that means that if you fire, I think, 18 bullets, you lose 1.2 bullets worth of damage with that change if they're all crits, if you use those snipers. So for me, I know for the longest time, I used the triple tap 1,000 yard from the vendor because I was like, oh, great, triple tap. I get basically five bullets per clip when I'm shooting Golgoth in the belly. Yeah. So keep that in mind too if you are raiding. Oh no, there's one thing we can talk about for PvE.
I know what you're saying.
Touch of
Malice. Yeah.
What?
Touch of Malice is no longer affected by Blessing of Light.
Yeah, it removes the Blessing of Light.
You can't use it.
It's dumb. This
for
is
the
a weird.
ogres.
This is a weird
Yeah.
change because here's the thing: was
Why?
anyone abusing Touch of Malice by using Blessing of Light? No, not at all. It's
I don't
such a
think-
situational thing.
I don't think.
It's a change for Wrath of the Machine.
In the
Yes,
raids.
exactly. That's what I think it is. They're like, this breaks Wrath of the Machine. We need to adjust it. People are going to react strongly. That's what I think happened.
I mean, it doesn't
Which is
give
why
you
they
that many
waited
more
so long,
shots.
too.
It gives you infinite shots. You just leave it at 1. You step into the bubble and you kill the ogres or whatever's coming at you.
Yeah,
It's
but you
very
got to keep
effective.
going in and out of the bubble.
Yeah, but so here was the strat that was used very often is people would have
Middle
2
bubble.
Titans be floaters
Yep.
in
This is
Oryx, and they
the
would
strat
sit in
that
the
we
middle,
roll.
pop a weapons and blessing bubble, and they would basically systematically kill all the ogres. So basically, people would do a little bit of damage to the ogre, and then between like sleeper shots and that, it was done. The biggest complaint I've seen is like, how do I do the raid now? So listen, if you don't know how to do King's Fall right now, I would highly recommend having your Night Stalker switch to Quiver and having it whatever the trap feature is on your super, and then dropping a Quiver shot in front of all the ogres, have everyone else use a sleeper, done.
Yeah.
Problem solved. That's what I would
Who
recommend.
even
if you
uses
were-
Touch
if
of
you were
Malice
always using Touch of Malice.
on Oryx?
Oh,
That's
all the
my
time.
question.
No,
No,
a ton of people do.
never.
Everybody.
No, a
No,
ton of people
the whole
do.
team.
Well, because that's the whole point. Well, it works in the aura, right?
Yeah.
You're immune.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
You don't take damage. So,
So
why would
It
you
is
not be at
still.
one bullet?
It's, I
and
feel
kill
like it's
everything?
still not as. I mean,
So
my
actually,
whole.
It's hugely effective. You're crazy if you didn't use.
My
if you
whole
don't have a
team,
crit-
we
It
so we
outdamages
run
sniper shots,
we run
DPS
that
wise.
we run that. Well, that's what exactly we use snipers.
Yeah.
Like we run that same strat. I mean, we mostly if we have 2 Titans, we'll
I
do
use
the double
sniper.
bubble strat, but we usually only have 1 or something, so we'll just use 1 there in the like a blessing bubble. But we just use snipers. Like no one uses touch.
Yeah, I mean, Black Spindle's great
Yeah.
for the raid. But no, a ton of people do actually, Sean. So
I'm not
just your
saying
group
I'm
doesn't,
not saying
but-
that. I'm not saying that no one out
Why
there
do you
uses
hate other
it.
raid
Well,
groups? That's all.
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
Yeah, Sean.
I'm not saying that if
spread
you're
your wings.
using Touch of Malice that you're doing it wrong. What I'm saying is like it doesn't seem like it was being abused or to
I
an
know
end where it was
because-
broken.
Which is why it's not designed for Oryx, and that's why it came out so late. Well, so that way, if you were using it to clear Oryx and stuff like that, you got all the clears out of the way. But right before Rise of the Machine, Rise
Wrath.
of Iron with Wrath of the Machine, they were like, "Hey, we don't want you absolutely bodying this one boss.
Yeah.
So we're gonna not."
I think it's fine. To me, it's not like a huge deal. But yeah, I didn't think it was a big problem either. So
I think it is now.
now it may be, yeah. So
When that raid isn't updated to a new light level and no one's running it anymore, and you just do it with snipers, it's not going to be a problem. No one's going to care.
I also just don't like making exceptions for weapons. Like I don't like that. I don't like balancing things like that. You know, like all
Yeah, but-
damage over time. It all works for Blessing of Light minus this one weapon. This one weapon removes the
yeah, but
Blessing
that's
of Light.
because
thing.
of the perk that it has. You know, they
Yeah.
never promised it would work with it. It does. Meaning you've gotten used to it working. So anyway, yeah, we probably should wrap things up.
Yeah.
I think it's worth noting for the achievement and trophy hunters, they have that new stuff online. Go check that out.
Yeah.
That's the last note of the update this week. But I know we got to wrap it up soon.
Definitely. Yeah. TeaWrex, thank you so much for joining us this week. It was great having you on the show.
Where can we find
Yeah.
you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/TREX and twitter.com/the-TREX because T-Rex is taken. Give it to me, guy with an active account.
That doesn't use it.
He's listening
They
now.
don't. They follow. They have 3 followers. 2 of them follow me, which means they follow them by accident.
Is he an egg? He's an egg.
Wait, are you the third follower? so
Oh
you,
my god.
so you
Be
can
really
follow
sick if I
the
want.
followers?
They don't do anything with it. I just want it.
Twitter did announce like a few months ago that in the next year they were going to be like clearing out a whole bunch of the inactive accounts. So those
Nice.
names will
hope.
become available
Yeah.
soon.
If I was him, I would go live once and just be like, I'm never giving up this account. And then go offline. And then go offline. That's his only highlight.
Actually, it needs
Well,
to do
that's Twitter. No, my Twitch is T-Rex. That's correct. It's my Twitter
Oh,
that they
okay.
have.
the Twitter.
Your
yeah.
Twitch, yeah.
The
Okay,
Twitter.
got
Twitters.
it.
He should do, an anonymous style update with a mask on. He's like, "This is a message for T-Rex. I'm never giving this up." Oh my goodness! With
really
like,
fun.
he'll have demands as well.
Fran, you stream also.
Yeah, I mean, we should actually talk about, so leading up to, very important for you, especially
Yeah.
Destin, you are going for the gold still, right, with Planet Destiny.
That's right.
You've been practicing the raid with them. He's at the Destin
been-
channel. Oh, yeah. Not the new raid. Oh. Not the new one.
Yeah,
What's
I was
the matter
like,
with you,
I've been
Sean?
running the new
The
raid
raids.
with
My
Planet
heart
Destiny.
Skipped a beat
I
for a second.
misspoke.
Yeah.
And it's not a secret.
No,
It
we did
actually
the three
vault.
other
Right.
ones, yeah.
But he's been doing that,
As
but what we're doing
defending
is...
champion. Good luck.
Yeah. But what's really interesting, if you follow us on Fireteam Chat, you actually will find Destin streaming there very often. You can actually put up multiple streams, so sometimes I'm also streaming, be it trials or stuff. So check us out over there, usually weeknights and weekends. Obviously, we have our day jobs, but again, he's the Destin channel. I am FM3_.
Great name.
On Twitch. Hey man, that's my username. So you can't have 3-character names. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the story.
One other thing, we are looking into this currently. Me and Alex Solomita are a live producer and technical producer. But when Rise of Iron launches and the raid is released, we want to see if we can do 2 streams. Destin's crew on PlayStation versus my crew on Xbox.
Oh.
And we're going to see who can get through this Wrath of the Machine fastest.
I'm also going to be playing. So,
but are you in Destin's crew? Are you going to be in Destin's crew?
No, I'm in. It actually, I should mention that.
You should
I've
be
been
in Destin's
saying
crew.
I was looking for a team, but the team I have been playing with the most, Click It, who plays with Goth, and some of these other folks that I play with, they didn't have a spot. Now they do have the spot, so I'm in. I should be good, but my big challenge now is I'm working that week, and I got to be ready to go by Friday, so we shall see. But I'm good for now. Yeah. Otherwise, I might be putting a call out to you Guardians that I might need some help.
TeaWrex, who are you running with?
Good
luck. Just kidding. No.
So first, by the way, because I'm thinking about this, I was like, no one's going to know how to spell T-Rex. It's TeaWrex versus being like, I couldn't find him. And then you guys get yelled at. I'll be running with King Gathalion, Professor Broman, Gunny, Rebel Eyes, and Sheriana. So
those guys are pretty good, I heard.
We got World's First last year. We'll see if we
I've
can
heard they're
have
in
them
a
again,
book.
but we're not really going for it. We prefer to call ourselves World's First to fun. We want to enjoy the entire thing. If World's First happens, it happens. But to us, it's not a race. It's only a race against ourselves.
Yeah.
My only goal is to beat Destin, so...
That's fair. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually sorry. Addendum. Our goal is to also be Destined. So.
Fair point.
Through transitive property, then you are racing to be world's first.
Yeah. On the last raid, my crew kept up with you guys up until
Golgoroth.
Yeah, up until Golgoroth, and then we got stuck and we couldn't finish it. But what I really want to do is get you and I want to get Destin, I want to get Fran, I want to get CJ in a group, and I want to take you all on so that we can settle this whole internal Xbox versus PS4
We can
debate.
go right now and see who does King's Fall the fastest, my group or your group. I can do that today if you'd like.
Oh, dude, I
Bring
will
it
take
on.
that bet
All
any
right.
bet of the. I will take
It's
that
on.
any day.
Get the timers out,
We
boys.
can finish that in like 30 minutes.
We're super fast too. We're going super overtime because we're so hyped. I do think there was one last note I had to make that I just blanked on.
Oh, well, you didn't let me promote. Follow me on Twitter at ShotByFinnegan. I went to PAX. I wanted to thank all the Guardians up there who I got to meet at the Bungie booth and play the game. It was really awesome. I bought my little Destiny shirt here, which is really cool. And we did a lot of really cool Gears coverage, if that's your thing. 24 minutes of just straight up Horde gameplay. It's like doing really well on YouTube right now. So if you're into that, check that out.
All right.
Cool.
I can't remember. Whatever.
We need to wrap it up. T-Rex, we do the outro thing. Have you watched the show? Do you know what we do?
We do like
I actually don't know for the outro. I watched last week. My brother was on it, but I've not seen the outro.
Yeah,
so
we
we
do,
do Guardians Out, where we all point at the TV. So we say, until next time,
But
Guardians
if I point
out.
at myself, do
No,
I?
you
No,
point at your camera.
on the TV?
Point at your camera.
You could. But
right.
yeah, so it's a slightly
right.
paused, until next time, and then we say it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's up to Destin, really. He
we're
always
gonna
screws
do
it up.
We're going to do it right now. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Until next time, Guardians out.
Out.